The Ghana Boxing Authority, in collaboration with promoters, were able to successfully oversee a minimum of 19 promotions within a calendar year. That was definitely very impressive. And these included fight nights that were televised at least to 32 countries in the African continent. How do we move the sport of boxing forward? And how do we ensure that we have a good flow of world-class competitors who can keep Ghana's flag as high as it has been in previous years? So just before we do that, remember that England has been, or Great Britain has been a space for, a lot of very important sporting events, on the global calendar. We can easily talk about Wimbledon, which saw Novak Djokovic hit a career record of 20 Grand Slam titles. We also saw Italy go to Wembley and cause a major upset of defeating the English national team through a pulsating penalty shootout to win this year's Euro 2020 tournament. And now the whole world is throwing the focus on Formula One. So this weekend's Formula One is going to Britain. It's the British Grand Prix, and we'll be throwing the focus on the British Grand Prix. And so, as usual, we've caught up with Kwabena Poku, who is the coordinator of F1 Ghana, so he could just bring us up to speed on how our plans are going, especially how the F1 family in Ghana will be following this. Remember that the Lewis Hamilton fever has not exactly caught on this season, and this is a very big worry for his fans and a lot of the Mercedes fans. But is anything going to change this weekend, especially as he competes at home? Well, the cup is coming home has now become a bit of a very worrisome line to chant. Okay, Kwabena, good to have you here on the Joy Sports Link once again. Hello, Kwabena, can you hear me?
Hi, Nat. How are you?
Great. Good. Thanks for asking. We're getting ourselves ready for the British Grand Prix. Interesting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, the big one. Yeah.
And of course, this is after a chain of major international events have also happened there.
True.
So is the title coming home this time around?
Well, they say F1 is coming home. So McLaren and Mercedes and Aston Martin are claiming that F1 is coming home. So let's see what happens this weekend. It's a very interesting weekend, and you should know. Tickets are sold at the British Grand Prix, 140,000. I think it's an experiment by the UK government to test the efficacy of the COVID jabs, the vaccinations. So they are admitting they are filling the whole place, no nose mask for people to mingle and see the effect or the good side of the vaccines and all that. So F1 is a big deal even for the UK government for the British Grand Prix.
Okay, let's talk about competition proper. Everybody when you go around, you go to the sports clubs, you go to the bars, you go to the offices and everything. Everybody just keeps talking about how that Lewis Hamilton effect has not been felt this season, and how we're likely to get a major upset, in terms of the eventual world championship.
Yeah, it's very close. The thing is, Lewis is not actually giving up now, and if you watch their qualifiers yesterday, let me just explain this year's British Grand Prix. They are testing what we call the F1 Sprint qualifiers for the British Grand Prix, and this is the first ever edition. Fridays we have the FP1 and then we have the FP2, normally just the practice sections. But this weekend's format, they are going to use the sprint as qualifiers. So the sprint is 100 kilometers, which is about 17 laps, right? So yesterday they had the FP1, and then the FP2 for yesterday was actually a qualifiers for the sprint today, right? Now Lewis took the qualifiers yesterday for the second time, I think, this season or so. And the past 4 or 5 races has all been won by Red Bull, Max Verstappen. So it's going to be an interesting race. I mean, the gap between the champion, Max Verstappen and Lewis, is about 32 points or so, right? So the sprint race is this afternoon. The sprint is going to determine the positions for tomorrow's race for FP1 and for P1, P2, P3, right? And Lewis actually took P1 for the sprint. Now, also the sprint you don't have a mandatory pit stop and all that. So it's going to be an interesting one this afternoon. So the fun actually starts this afternoon with the F1 sprint, the first ever F1 sprint, for qualifiers, which is 17 laps straight.
17 laps straight indeed. Now,
Yeah.
Let's talk about tomorrow and what the plans are for the fans here.
Well, the plan is actually starting today. Starbite is actually hosting the fans for the first ever F1 sprint this afternoon. So fans are actually going through Leicester Square to watch the first ever F1 sprint. This is the 17 laps race, and then tomorrow we have the main race itself, which is the British Grand Prix. We didn't have it last year, so this year they are back, and we're going to have a full house for the British Grand Prix at the Silverstone itself. 140,000 fans coming through, all rooting for Lewis, especially Lewis before even Lando Norris and the surprise P3 guy, the Q3 guy, George Russell. So tomorrow is going to be an interesting race. Mind you, they had the FP2 this morning, and I think Verstappen took the best time sheet. Going into the sprint race and all that. So tomorrow's race is going to be very interesting. Mercedes did a few tweaks to their car. They are hoping for the best tomorrow. And we're all hoping for the best. For some of us, we wish Lewis will win the race tomorrow and keep the championship alive, throughout for the rest of the season. So, it's going to be quite interesting for tomorrow's race.
Okay, all right. Let's see how it goes. So, which one would constitute a surprise for you tomorrow? Which kind of result will constitute a surprise for you tomorrow?
For Lewis and Max Verstappen, none of them will be a surprise. But for people like Bottas, for people like Perez, for Lando Norris, for Ricciardo, that will be a surprise to see where they place tomorrow. But for Lewis, and the fight is a two-way straight fight between Lewis and Max Verstappen. And Red Bull is now feeling the pressure from Mercedes, which for me, I was expecting it after the tweets they were going to do. And going into 2020, mind you, F1 has launched a new era of cars for the 2022 season, and so everybody wants to end this old era of cars on a high note going into the year 2022. So for me, between Lewis and Max, it wouldn't be a surprise, but I'm actually looking at from the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions, where the action will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's wish all of them well, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll be at Starbite. We're even bringing in the F1 simulator. People can come and drive, have a feel of how F1 cars or the tracks are and everything. So we are, in conjunction with the Esports Academy, bringing the F1 simulator to Starbite. You have the usual suspects there, our partners, Heineken, Skechers, Shell, Joy, 99.7. All of us will be at Leicester Square. The race actually starts from 2 p.m., but Starbite obviously is open from the morning from 10 a.m. going. There's a buffet in-house with reasonable prices and everything for the F1 fans. And lots of prizes to win tomorrow. So people should come through from 10 a.m. in the morning.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to that simulator thing.
Yes.
All right. Let's see how all of it goes. All the best, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Yeah?
All right. Thank you, Nat. Thank you very much.
So, just gone by was that conversation with Kwabena Poku, who is the coordinator of F1 Ghana. Who wins it tomorrow? A big one indeed. But the action begins this afternoon, as we've been told. Remember, it's 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. A big good afternoon to all of my Accra Hearts of Oak people. You've labored so hard. A decade plus one. So there are loads and loads of images on social media and of course on our digital channels, giving you an idea of how it's been going so far with Accra Hearts of Oak looking forward to wrapping it all up this weekend as they play against Wafa in Sukakopa. And of course, Joy Sports has put together a very, very wonderful package which begins tomorrow from 4:30 p.m. on the Joy Prime channel as we look ahead to what will be a great coming season, because Accra Hearts of Oak obviously had to fight real hard. So it will be the Phobia Coronation Show, and it will be on the Joy Prime channel. You can't miss it at all. If it's on DSTV, then it will be channel 281, and we're also free to air. Join the rest of the team as we celebrate Accra Hearts of Oak and their achievements. We look back at the season and how it has all gone. For the rest of you, well, it's a lot of reflection, a lot of calculation, and a lot of going behind the scenes to see what you can do in terms of improving the face for the upcoming season. It sure has been a very wonderful Ghana Premier League season gone by. And of course, Coach Samobwedu justified that award that he won recently at the Ghana Football Awards as Coach of the Year by wrapping it all up with the Ghana Premier League title. What a story. Congratulations to the Phobia family once again. And that big look back is here, and it will be on Joy Prime from tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Today we're discussing boxing. But as I promised, let's bring you a bit of the conversation with Ike Bazooka Quartey, and after that we get close to who we want to see in the leadership place when the Ghana Boxing Authorities Congress wraps up next week. To be in boxing.
To be a good boxer, to be a hard, tougher boxer, you have to be at the street for a while.
Yeah, you have to pass through
some things, when you are
experiences.
Yes. Sometimes, Charlie, you can take some punch and Charlie, the way you feel it. I'm still laughing.
Yes, that reminds me, champ. I've met a lot of my friends who say, your friend Ikote, I mean, one of the things I liked about him was the fact that anytime you punched him and it got him, then he'll laugh.
Start
so anytime
smiling.
Ikote laughs in the ring,
Start smiling.
You start
It
smiling.
means
How did you develop that? Tell me about
No, I just want to tell you that what he did to me is nothing. It's nothing.
it. It's nothing, but it's still painful.
I'll give back.
Yeah.
Harder than what I took.
Yeah. Because I remember, back in the time, anytime a punch touches you, then you smile. Instead of...
If you touch me harder, I
Yeah.
feel it. That this punch is a big punch and it's a hard punch too. I start smiling like, it's nothing. My brother, it's not Charlie.
There are times, but there have been times when you've gone after a fight and you had body pains and stuff.
You were in New York when I fought. You were in New York, Madison Square Garden when I fought
Venom Forest.
You saw everything what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very controversial decision. I remember.
No, I won that fight. All my only Vargas was my loss. I understand that I've lost this fight, but De La Hoya, Booker,
So Vargas is the only boxer you thought you genuinely lost to?
That fight. Because I think we didn't prepare well.
You didn't prepare well?
It's not enough.
Why? Normally.
Because we went to the camp late.
Oh, I see. Were you informed about the fight late? Did you sign?
No, before the fight, you used to have to sign everything before giving you your trainer allowance to go to the camp.
Yeah.
But I went to the camp late. And later to the sparring partners they brought, we lost the fight. We lost it.
So you lost to Vargas. That was genuine. But the rest of them...
No, I've lost it. Now, if tomorrow...
What about Winky Wright? Because Winky Wright was...
It's my friend. It's my boy.
Yeah.
We used to stay in France together.
I know. He's your childhood boy, friend.
So that middleweight, he just called me. Like, I know you middleweight. Come, let's go fight, make money. So
it was a multi-million-dollar fight.
When I go to the Tampa, Florida,
Bay, yeah.
At the airport, and he gave me his car to drive. And the media was, you come to fight this guy using his car. He's my friend. We come to make money. I'm not middleweight Oscar. He's my friend. We come to make money. So I don't click each other. I don't care if his mother is a referee, his father is a judge. We come to fight in his bedroom. I don't care. I come to fight and make money.
I see.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, so yeah, because I remember very well.
So that fight is a middleweight fight.
Yeah.
I'm not a middleweight boxer.
And it was an exhibition. There were big stars as well.
It was an exhibition, but it was a decision,
And you were fine with it?
Tomorrow we are fine about that.
I see.
Yeah, bro.
That thing about boxers and becoming very close friends outside the ring and having to fight each other. How does that work? I've never understood that.
I've never got a boxer friend apart from late Africa. The Whiskies. We were with the Whiskies.
Yeah,
I've never had a boxer friend apart from Africa.
I see. You grew up together in the
We
area?
grew up together. We especially African games together. Common games together. African games Nairobi. Common games. It was boycott. It was boycott. Both of South Africa apartheid.
The apartheid,
1986, 1996.
Yeah, sure.
And we all participated in Olympic Games in Seoul, Korea.
I see.
Tempo the same day.
His passing must have hit you
A
very
lot,
hard.
a lot. We became champion the same year.
Yeah, a few months away from each other. Yeah, I remember very well. Yeah. Sad, may his soul rest in peace. If you just joined us, this is a conversation with the legendary Ike Bazooka Quartey, a recipient of the Grand Medal of the Republic of Ghana. At the last, major state awards, Ike Quartey received a Grand Medal from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, for his contributions to the national image and his contributions to the sport of boxing and his major achievements as well. I made mention of your favorite pastimes. Now, I remember that at a point you had about, what, 18, 19 dogs at home?
I love dogs.
Yeah. You still keep that big number of dogs?
No.
Pets?
No. I had dogs, but not like before.
Not back then. Okay. And you had names for each and every
Oh,
one?
they all know me.
They all know you?
Joy 99.7 FM.
What do you normally do when you wake up? And I remember my first time when I stepped there and they smelt me, and all of them just started barking very
They don't
hard.
know you.
Yeah.
They don't know you.
So at the time, what did you used to do? At what time did you used to release them into the compound and all?
No, I have day and night.
Okay. Oh, there are those who used to come out.
Out day.
Tell me about that.
I have
Interesting.
the day, the one who come out day. And night, I lock them and bring night also.
I see. So how many of them do you have now?
7, 8.
8 of them. Interesting.
Yeah, I have 5. I have 2 Rottweilers, 2.
2 Rottweilers.
And 4 pudding.
I see. Poodles as well. I see. Interesting stuff. How's your wife doing?
Oh, she's fine. She's doing well, very well.
I see. I couldn't attend your wedding.
Yeah,
What a shame.
you were in South Africa, right?
Yeah. Interesting stuff
nice
there.
wedding.
And you've been busy with your hospital project. It's taken a while for it to come up. How is the situation?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm doing now. I'm looking for investor,
Okay.
I've been to Dubai twice. I want an investor. Where we have reached now, we need investor. We have to finish this thing. This thing have to complete. The government there, I'm not putting my head on government because I've tried NDC, tried MPP. Nothing is going. Nothing. Because nothing.
What kind of support were you looking for from government?
No, partnership.
You wanted to have a partnership.
They should come complete and then operate it.
Okay.
Because from Kaswa to Kolebu, no hospital. And from Kaswa to 37, no hospital. So if the government is able to complete
You mean
this,
no major, like
they
a big
we have a
hospital?
lot of clinics.
Joy 99.7 FM.
From Kaswa, there's no hospital. Mention one hospital, one Finney Hospital.
Yeah, there's Feni on the side. It's a big, yeah.
So, since the first government, NDC, nothing, MPP, decided to find an investor. So that's what I'm looking for. now.
I remember that at a point as well, you had brought a lot of equipment and you wanted to get them out of the port.
Yeah, I paid
what
it.
happened?
I
You
paid
paid
it.
duty?
Yeah.
Okay.
I paid it. Go first time. I
Okay.
go first time. I paid it. Yeah.
You couldn't get any tax rebates. or
Nothing at
anything?
all because initially I brought equipment
Okay.
and I paid duty for to. I went to South Africa. He was a finance minister. And that was what I'm bringing to help the nation. Say, there's nothing they can do. We can't want them paid. I went to China to buy the building equipment to complete it.
Okay.
28 containers.
I see.
Yes. Let me show you the receipts. Can I show you the receipt now?
Yeah, we'll
Is
take
there-
a,
is
yeah.
my office is there,
Yeah,
right?
we'll take a look at it. Yeah.
And I pay and clear it. They are there. Things are there
see.
now. Yeah.
So, you've had conversations, and how are the conversations going? Is it going well?
About the hospital?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going well. There, we're on it.
So if you should project, how long would it take you to to complete it so that you can start operating from the way your conversations have gone with your partners?
Now, unless we get an investor,
Yeah.
who's coming to invest, complete it and operate it. There we can tell you we can finish today, tomorrow, next week, one next year or something.
I see.
Now we haven't got somebody. I can't tell you tomorrow or next week.
How are your other businesses? You have a lot of real estate.
Yeah, I have
this
a real
building
estate, I have
is-
hotels. I'm fine.
Let's talk about general health. I mean, people always say that boxers, sometimes when they go in the ring, they fight for so long, the punches hit them all the time. Sometimes they footballers sometimes also get injuries and they get hurt. Since you retired, have you had any health condition of any sort, or
I was 31 when I retired. Your wife was saying, "Oh no, we are too young." I said, "No. It's okay. I'm fine."
And then you came back and did your comeback.
No, just to prove for the world that I can do it again. And I want to do it again with Oscar Lawyer,
Yeah.
But the weight, you can't do it. It's too big. We have to go to China somewhere. We do an exhibition there. Like, you can't do the weight. You want to go for heavyweight somewhere. And I'm not doing it.
Oh, he wanted you to fight for
We
heavyweight.
chat for something else.
I see.
It's too big now.
Okay.
Because it's fat.
Yeah. And so, which weight would you have preferred to have that fight with Oscar?
If it's coming,
Yeah.
we do it.
At middleweight. That's what you are comfortable with.
Comfortable with, yeah.
Okay. So if Oscar should call you now and say, "Look, champ, I think I can make the middleweight," you'll be ready to go?
Let's talk about money.
Money. How much would you want to be paid for a big exhibition like that?
No, it's not. It's exhibition.
Yeah.
So you have to sit and talk. People will come in, get sponsor will come in. Now I'm a big guy in the boxing, so I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So you have to sit and talk. How much you gonna give me? How much you gonna do? No. But it's not coming on. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on today. So just continue.
Yeah, I was coming to that, champ. So I saw a picture of you wearing your basketball jersey. You were wearing this ring. You had clenched your fists. You're taking a shot. Your hair, and people started talking about it. There are a lot of negative comments. Some suggesting that you were on drugs, and some also suggesting that you don't have money anymore, and all of that. Yes, and I'm sure some of it caught your attention. First of all, let's talk about this look. Many people know Ike Bazooka Quartey as the man who always has a clean shave, no hair on his face, and all of that. Why did you decide to grow hair on your face?
And I decided after the clean shape, I decided to be a Rasta.
Okay.
I was a Rasta for 7 years.
Yeah. I
Cut it
remember.
off. Go out, do it again for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I decided to keep myself.
Okay.
Are you telling me if somebody has kept his hair and he used drug? Have I lost my mind? Or just have I lost? All opportunities are there. If I decide to keep my hair on beard, that's my. If leave your hair, that's me your drug dealer or use drug. No, it's wrong. That's the information.
Joy
That
99.7
person
FM.
face the law. The one who brought this issue out have to face the law because you can't do that. You can't do that. That's what all name I made all these years. I waste my life time to build this name. Try to do tarnish it. No. I want to say at all. I'll take that person on. I don't do that. I love my wife. I love myself.
Joy 99.7
I
FM.
love them. How can I be going that's nasty thing?
Tell me about the reactions that your immediate family, your wife, your children, when they saw the way people were talking.
My wife,
What
she
did-
couldn't sleep. She hasn't got searching for. She having a that's come on. How do you feel? Where is she?
Yeah.
So, but it's bad. You have to clear it. Yeah, I'll take it to court.
Sure. Now, as a public figure, these things have come up in your life. I mean, people saying what they want to say about you and all of that. Generally, how have you reacted to such things? I mean, as a public figure and as a superstar, I mean, you've had so many stories that people say all sorts of things about you.
a lot.
And normally, how do you react to these
Nothing
things?
at all. Nothing happens to me. I do nothing. Nothing. Because yesterday my wife, she couldn't sleep. Come on. Sleep, sister. Come on. You say your husband is using drug. It's police chasing us. Sleep.
That's what you told her.
Yeah, I told her.
So she slept.
She because I don't do that. She know I don't do that. The thing is disturbing because it's a woman, you know.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I see. Well, what's the regular day like for Ikwoti nowadays? A regular day?
Always at Ikwoti. Where the guy took the picture.
Okay. Oh, so someone took a picture?
Yeah,
of
he
you?
came to the house, he want to take a picture with me.
Okay.
So I said, let's go to the sea, beach.
Okay.
So he was trying to check the picture. They cast somebody there.
Okay. So somebody was standing with you?
With me.
Oh, I see. Do you know him?
Not at all. He just came to the old champion. I want to take a picture with you. I said, okay.
Okay. So he walked into your house and said he wanted to take a picture
So
with
tell me,
you?
let's go outside.
Okay. So you took him to the beach?
I don't know
walked down
him.
the beach. I see.
I don't know the guy who took the picture.
I see.
With my hair like that. I'm on the side. Is he expecting me to wear suits? I'm on side. Is it the guy going to wear suits? Come and see this egg, spread it on the social media that I use drugs.
Champ, you used to do, I mean, you used to operate your own private gym on that beachfront property. I haven't been there in a while, I must admit. So what, you've converted into a residential property?
Yeah.
So you live there now? You stay, or you go and
I'll move there soon.
you move there to the beachfront?
Yes.
I see. Oh, so is the building is still under construction?
I can give it to you. I can show it to the world.
So a lot of the time you spend your time at Kokrobite at the property trying to develop your private home
All the time.
all the time.
From March first last year when the
COVID came. How did you take COVID? I mean, COVID came, people were dying, people had to be indoors for some time and all of that. How did you take that psychologically? How did you?
Yeah, I just follow the protocol. That's all.
I see. Did you ever get COVID?
No.
You never did? No. I see.
I just follow the protocol. That's all. I don't feel nothing.
Okay. So during the lockdown, you were just at home?
Lockdown.
I see. You were not going anywhere?
Nowhere.
I see. Wow, interesting stuff. So have you, in your plan, I'm going to have a look at it, but did you decide, I don't know what you decided to do, but have you kept that gym within the new plan, or you've just...
No, I
just took it out completely? I see. Don't people approach you that they want to learn the sport from you because of your big right and the beautiful style that you had? But don't people come to you and say they want to learn?
Yeah, a lot of people come to me. A lot of people from the area, Boko. Well, they all want to be like me. That's my plan. After the hospital, I'll build a gym. Boxing gym. Yeah.
Okay. But where do you want to situate it?
I'll get it at Ududu.
Ududu constituency. There's not much space there.
I know we'll get somewhere to do it.
You get somewhere to do that?
Ududu.
I see.
Because you can't put a gym at the condition. You aren't going to build the boxers from Boko. No, the boxers from Boko, from that area. So the gym should be there. Now you can give them scholarship to go to school free.
Yeah.
The parents will accept.
Yeah.
You come and eat there. It's hard there.
Yeah.
Living there is hard. So if you have a gym there, feeding them, giving scholarship like 7 to 12, it's a project. You get boxers, good boxers like me or Asman Anderson or someone else.
I see. Tell me about public life after your retirement. I mean, when you were in your heyday, I remember that obviously because of the customized car numbers that you use, people know that this is Ike coming because it's a number 4. But compare back then to now that you are retired and you're more family and all of that. This guy, for instance, came to you to take a picture. I mean, how much of it has gone down, as in the way people approach you, people come and talk to you and all of that?
From this incident?
No, back in the time. Back in the time, you were still active.
If you're in the game, the boxing, you are a star. Yeah, everybody don't like you. Everybody knows you the world. So if someone comes to say, I want autographs, I want a picture, that one you can't represent.
Yeah.
So if someone has come to me and take a picture with me, go and destroy me, it's wrong.
Yeah. But tell me about the time, when you were young and you became a champion, and what led you to invest your money in landed property? How did that happen? Because normally when you're young, you told me before that when you were young, I mean, you were just, you were interested in partying and jewelry and cars and all of that. How did you transform your mind to start investing your money in Was it advice that came from someone? Or
No,
some-
I don't have advisor. It was all they say, you're Boadier.
They say you're arrogant.
Boadier.
Yeah.
Boadier. So,
But is Aikwote arrogant?
no, I say it as it is. I'm not arrogant. I say it as it is. You're Boadier.
How do you feel about that tag that people
I don't feel
place on
fine.
you?
I'm fine. That's how I am. I'll say it as it is.
So you feel that it's because you say it as it is that people tag you as arrogant?
That's what it is.
I see.
Have I insulted anybody before?
Well,
Because I'm arrogant, they are scared to come to me. You come to me, say it, I'll say it like this.
yeah, we're wrapping up the conversation now, but you know, it's good that you plan to invest back into the community, wanting to build a gym.
No, the hospital.
Yeah, after the hospital.
The
Yeah,
hospital is very important. I'm looking for investment. Yeah, because you have to figure it out because it's to help the community.
yeah,
You know, it's the biggest, I think, constituency in Ghana.
yeah,
When they divided in 4, right?
yeah.
There's no hospital there. From Kaswa to Korea. Come on. It's bad. Something has to be done.
Has anybody ever approached you to go into full-time politics?
No.
No,
Not like that.
you don't.
No.
But you have friends who are politicians, right?
No, Roy is my friend. He likes me. You know, he has helped me before, so why became my friend?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember those times you used to. Yeah.
Very good friend.
Yeah. Where were you when on the day when he passed? How did you get? How did the information get to you of his passing, Rawlings'
I'm
passing?
not going there. I'm going there.
You couldn't go and
I'm
watch
going
it.
to sing like that.
I see.
Can't go close to him there. That was my friend.
So you so that you
Titi called the church. I didn't know about it.
you mean TT Brothers, your very close friend. Yeah.
Yeah, then come back and tell him. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want more than think about it. Come on. So,
What was the last thing, if you remember? What was the last thing your last meeting with Rawlings? Your last long time. Do you remember what you discussed with him?
long time.
Long time ago. TT Brothers, Isaac Tete, the MD of TT Brothers, an industrialist and a very close friend of yours.
He's my brother.
Yeah.
He's my brother. Yeah.
Tell me about that relationship.
We are brothers.
That's it. What's the... How do you react to things that get you angry?
I'm a human being, so I was always angry. You know, every human being go angry. Because every human being, you be angry. You have to remote control. That's it. You know? Just the gang.
I do.
Everybody gets. So if you gotta try to control it, that's what I do. Sometimes, temper, you know, I must tell that when I'm talking and stuff. So
Yeah.
I have to temper. And this is, you know, remote control. Because we are going to.
What do you think is helping you to control? What helps you to control temper? Is it the fact? Is it with age, or is just you as
The age.
age?
The age. Grandchildren are coming. They are remote control.
Champ, it's been wonderful sharing time with you today,
thank you.
and we should be having these.
But I
kinds of
tell you
conversations.
what, your friend is not using drug.
Yeah, I will.
I don't use drug.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a bad guy.
yeah. But when you were a younger person, did you get tempted? Because I know that in Stardom there are a lot of things. People, friends will come, they say, "Oh, Charlie, let's have this party, let's drink this." Let's smoke that. Nobody ever influenced you back then when you were young?
No,
Never.
nobody can influence me because nobody advised me. So in boom,
Yeah.
because my brothers are trying to, you know, hey, boom. You know,
Yeah.
aside from one, that was only one.
Yeah.
Hey, boom. No, money is not do what I want. So I have to move to another manager. I started working with Greencraft. They made me champion, you know. But after 1 year, they made champion. The contract expired. I said, okay, let's move on. Or they're going to expire.
But with all these people, you still have good you have good relationships with all these people you work with.
No problem.
Yofi Boham, all of them.
Sometimes come to my house and see me.
Yeah. Ludi Bella and all of them.
Sometimes I'm no problem.
Sometimes you have
I
conversations.
think last fight, Ferry told me that he's trying to invite me there. No, hospital.
You're not interested in boxing anymore?
No. Hospital said,
It's the hospital and nothing else.
that's my dream.
Okay. So after the dream comes true, you go back to boxing.
Yeah, I can think about doing something else.
I'm waiting for the hospital because I really want you to put
That
up
hospital
that
will
gym.
be completed.
Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah, it will be completed, but you have to go and put up that gym
After the hospital.
after the hospital. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's been great. It's been great, champ.
Thank you.
You're the man. You're the man. So, a conversation with Ike Bazooka Quartey, the man who won his world title and defended it 7 times. A legend in our books and a man of history and a man who wants the whole world to know. The story has been told. We're looking forward to seeing him take many exploits, especially his investments in the health sector after. Okay, so that was the conversation with Ike Bazooka Quartey, the former WBA welterweight champion. And of course, that's going to be on our YouTube pages. There's loads of conversations, loads of messages that have come in requesting that they'd like to see it over and over again. And so, promise fulfilled, I brought you that conversation one more time. And of course, you'd have to look forward to more of such big conversations on all of our platforms here on Joy Sports and on all of our digital radio and television, as well as online platforms. We're still here on the Joy Sports link on Joy 99.7 FM. Remember, you can send in your messages, and it's 055 1111 997. 055 1111 997. Well, we're staying in the same vein of boxing, but of course, would have to do this message that comes from Babs in Ablinkpe. He says, "Good afternoon, Nat. We did for you. Why? Phobia, no size." Okay, thank you very much for that message. There's another one as well that says, "Hi, Nat, how are you? Congrats to us, the Phobians, right? A well-deserved trophy. If Wafa likes, they should score us 100 goals to nothing. We have won the league already. Congrats to Italy as well for winning the Euros. And as a matter of fact, England didn't deserve to be in the finals. However, they lost to the best side." This is from Kojo in Medina. Kojo, thank you so much for that message, but I'm not sure you as a Phobian would like to see your side lose by 100 goals to nil. You'd want to guard it. And as champions as well, you need to also protect your egos. So this Wafa game later today is going to be one very heavily it's going to be a competitive one. It should be a beautiful game that will also mark the coronation. But thank you anyway for that message. So keep the messages coming in at 055 1111 997. Here in my company is the Secretary General of the Ghana Boxing Authority, Mr. Patrick Johnson. Now, he will be explaining to us what exactly will be happening, next week, Thursday, as we look forward to seeing the face of a new leadership, or the coming into being of a new leadership through the ballot box. And this is something that was done 4 years ago and was done very, very smoothly at the Theodosia Oku National Hockey Pitch. It saw lawyer Peter Zwenes re-elected for a second term. Now, before that Congress was that one that was held 4 years earlier at the Accra Stadium, at the media center of Accra Stadium. Interestingly, lawyer Peter Zwenes was a contender against Mr. Henry Ekomanli Spain, who is now a presidential aspirant. He beat Mr. Ekomanli Spain to it. And now Mr. Henry Ekomanli Spain has been put forward and is seen in certain circles within the media and other boxing circles as a front runner in this election, considering the fact that he has tried out that space before and has done a whole lot of other things. So we'll start off this conversation getting to know what has gone on over the last few weeks and what has been done over the last 8 years under lawyer Peter Zwenes' reign, and then we'll zoom ahead and look into the future, especially what will be happening there on the and of course I know that most of you were very, very interested in that conversation with Ike Bazooka Quartey. Send in your messages on that one as well, Let's talk. Some of you have favorite moments of his in the ring as well. Send all of them. Let's share with everyone else. Patrick, thank you very much for your time. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Nat.
And I like this kente, apparel.
Thank you so much.
Now, I know you've been busy in the last few weeks. In fact, the last few months in building up to this Congress. Now, these events for sporting associations, especially for the professional boxing body, are very, very crucial and very, very, they drive a lot of attention because we are in a sport that is very big. Now, tell me how things have gone. I mean, in terms of putting everything together to build up to this Congress.
Well, Nat, thank you so much for having me this afternoon. And first and foremost, let me extend greetings to listeners as well. It's not been easy, since we started. We planned, making sure that this election will come on. And it's been like I'm the youngest on the executive board, so everything lies on Patrick Johnson. And I happen to also to be the Secretary General as well. So it's not been easy, although we have our planning committee, but still, after the planning, after every ideas that comes out, they will say that Patrick ran with it, and it's not easy. And I would say that mostly it's a benefit or it's a glory to we, the Secretary Generals, when we are able to organize elections successfully. I mean, the credit goes to us and our mother sports body, that's the National Sports Authority. We've been able to, do a lot concerning, bringing and delegates together, bringing candidates together, and making sure that all procedures that we put in place have been able to follow accordingly.
All right. It's been a while. Lawyer Peter Zwenes, the president, the outgoing president, has been, there for 8 years. What would you, single out, or what would you highlight as the major, high points of this journey, this 8-year journey?
Well, I would say that it's all good because Lawyer Peter Zwenes has been able to do to the maximum, but we always have a say that Oliver Twist always asks for more. When Lawyer Peter Zwenes came, Ghana was crying for world title, and he's been able to do it. When you look at Emmanuel Tego, when you look at Isaac Dogbe, when you look at Richard Comey.
And just for the benefit of all our listeners, now remember that Emmanuel Tego was the very first boxer to have won a major world title within the Bukom Boxing Arena, and this was in December of 2016. And this was, remember that the Bukom Boxing Arena was commissioned in November of 2016, and he won the IBO lightweight title in 2016. Now, the man Richard Comey as well won the IBF lightweight title, and then Isaac Dogbe won the WBO super bantamweight title. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, in his time, he's been able to, get this for Ghana because we were yearning for world title for long, and he's been able to do it 3 different world titles. And it's not been easy. And if you look at Peter Zwenes' time, we've been able to have a lot of promotions. Promotions have come on really, and we're able to give license to, promoters. And those promoters have been able to showcase themselves that, yes, we are capable of promoting boxing. And Nat, trust me, we've been able to do something good when we are talking of boxing. Lawyer Peter Zwenes have been able to bring us far. And we are bringing Ghana boxing to a different level again.
All right. Now, when it comes to the promotions, we've seen some very beautiful and flowery, moments in our sport. You'd see beautiful fight nights, very heavily televised. People, following from different parts of the world and from other countries and all of that. But clearly the promoters also have their own issues, and they have their own challenges that they faced over the years.
9.7 FM.
Yeah, for boxing, especially the promoters, when we're talking about promotions, it's not easy. Not if you're coming from sponsorship point of view, it's not easy, and you getting the sponsors to able to promote boxers. And in Ghana, trust me, if you are talking about get proceeds in promotion, forget about it, because everybody wants it free to come and watch it. Although are having a lot of good, boxers on your bill, paying them good monies, but for people, if I'm talking about get proceeds, promoters doesn't get such, money to enable them to do that. But our promoters that with license have done so well. Let me sit here and say that and congratulate them. They've done so well, and they've been pushing since they came. They've been able to raise the level of boxing to a different level. Although the olden people have been able to do something good, but trust me, they too, they have done boxing good.
Yeah, and I said this in my intro that everybody who would observe, and all these things are out there for all to see, that at least a year and a half before COVID broke, or a year before COVID broke, there was a lot of very fluid activity on the promotional front, to the extent that one day I sat back and did a count, and I could count as much as about 18 to 19 promotions that were held, 18 to 19 major fight nights that were held, on the calendar. And I think that is something that we all need to comment. Of course, when it's wrong as well, we will talk about it. There's no doubt about that. Well, if you're here on the show, this is the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM, which is live on my Joy Online TV and on YouTube, and also on your super dial Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Nathaniel Atto. I'm your regular host, and of course, we're having a boxing conversation here today. Now, the first vice president of the Ghana Boxing Authority, who is in contention for the presidency for our next week's Congress, Mr. Henry Echo Manley Spain, is here with me in the studio, and also Mr. Patrick Johnson, who is the Secretary General. Later on, we'll be picking some thoughts from, I don't know whether to describe him as an outgoing executive member or one of our most seasoned promoters, who is a pioneering promoter of former world champion Richard Comey. His name is Lawrence Carl Loco, and he's the head trainer of the Bronx Boxing Gym. Now, Lawrence Carl Loco, interestingly, will feature in a short documentary, or a short feature that we're going to bring you on this channel. So we need to watch out for that. He's doing some amazing stuff, at the Bronx Boxing Gym. There's a message here just before I go back to the conversation. This one says, "Good afternoon, Nat. I love Ike Bazooka Quartet, period. He's the reason why I joined the Ghana Armed Forces boxing team. But what's happening to Ghana basketball? Nigeria beat USA in an exhibition match recently. It was an amazing game to watch. Any updates on our basketball leagues and the Ghana basketball scene in general?" This is from Shem Mixon Yabwa. Shem, thank you very much. It is a conversation that we're surely going to be picking up, as we go along. All right. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
We're going to come to you very shortly, but I'd want you to tell me what the dynamics are going to be like for next Thursday's Congress. Which constituent bodies are going to be voting? What numbers are we looking at? And who basically qualifies to put a thumb into ink and onto a ballot paper?
Thank you very much, Nat. I think from the beginning we gave out some guidelines to the public and our stakeholders. And to cut everything short, those who are eligible to vote are people in good standing. When I say people in good standing, meaning they have their current licenses. That is gyms that have registered with the Ghana Boxing Authority, trainers, that is coaches, who are having their current licenses. And then we have the current, or let me say the outgoing board, they are eligible to vote. Boxers who have their current licenses are eligible to vote. And we are also allowing former world champions to vote. That is Matchmakers Association. We have given them 5 slots to vote. We have Promoters Association, Managers Associations. All of them are eligible to vote. But if you are in good standing meaning you have your current licenses, that will give you the opportunity to vote. So they are the people who are going to be allowed to vote. So we are just estimating around 150, 160 people to
All
come
right.
and vote.
All right, I see. Interesting stuff there. 150 to 160 people.
Yeah.
All right. So for the presidency, it is Mr. Henry Ekomani Spain here and Mr. Abraham Kote Nikwe. Now, just before I have the conversation with Mr. Henry Ekomani Spain, it is very important to state that we, as an editorial team, have made our attempts to get Mr. Abraham Kote Nikwe to be here with us. Well, unfortunately, he hasn't granted that request. So we're going to go ahead to have the conversation with the person who decided to honor our invitation. As has always been our policy here, we like to make it very plain. We like to make it very balanced, and it cuts across all of our content here on all of our platforms here at the Multimedia Group. And today is no different. So we are just going ahead to have a conversation with the person who made himself available to have this conversation with us. It is also very important to state that Mr. Abraham Kote Nikwe has served for the last 4 years as a second vice president of the Ghana Boxing Authority. Prior to that, he served at the level of amateur boxing and led the Greater Accra Amateur Boxing Association as its chairman or president at the time. And he served for some time before leaving that front to do a bit of boxing promotion and management. He's been part of the team of former IBO lightweight champion Emmanuel Tego before, and he's also been part of some promotional activity as well, contributed his bit as well to the sport. So he is one of the two aspirants for the presidency of the Ghana Boxing Authority. Now, Mr. Henry Manley Spain here has a long history of boxing. I have personally witnessed, and of course, I'm telling all of this based on what I have witnessed of the two in terms of their respective journeys as a journalist. Now, the very first time when I had full contact with Mr. Henry Manley Spain was when he was signing some boxers from Mr. Carl Loco's gym, the Bronx Gym. Ahead of that as well, he had spent a lot of money on the informal scale, helping these boxers, in different ways. And then after that, he ventured into full-time promotion, which we all saw. Now, he stepped back a little bit and used his personal company to fund the promotions that were put together under Golden Mike Promotions. And his company always led the front when it came to sponsoring. And we saw what Golden Mike Promotions did in the past. I mean, I could just quickly run through a few of them. Brahma Kamoko, Bukum Banku, during the time when he became a major item on our boxing calendar and became a major item when it comes to relevance around the world. He became a WBO Africa cruiserweight champion. I remember all the big promotions that were held, some of them at the Accra International Conference Center, one which saw our former president, who was then a vice president, watch live boxing for the first time in his life. All of these achievements were made during the time. And then after a while, he also came and offered himself to compete for the presidency of the Ghana Boxing Authority and lost to lawyer Peter Zwenes, who is now the outgoing president. After that, he came back, he took a back step a bit, and then came back once again and offered himself and duly got elected as first vice president of the Ghana Boxing Authority. So he is leaving that space to move one step higher to become the main person in terms of administering the day-to-day affairs of professional boxing in Ghana. Mr. Henry Eko Manley Spain, good to have you once again.
Thank you.
And thank you for making the time. I know this weekend had a lot of activity and a lot of things pulling you away.
Well, that is true. But when you're called on certain occasions, you need to make a time for it because it's your benefit or my benefit. So definitely, I need to show up.
Thank you very much, and I'm very grateful. Now let's talk about what you've been up to in the last 2 months, 3 months, when it comes to the focus for this election.
Well, I've moved around, spoken a lot to the stakeholders in the sport, toured some of the regions, spoken to most people on in the regions also, those people that I had not been able to reach there personally. But I realized the fact that we've done extremely with my team. I had to congratulate them with all the effort that they've done, and I'm very pleased with that. So I can tell you that we're on the lead, and we'll definitely deliver.
Are you also going to use the words comfortable lead? That becomes very dangerous, you know, in political terms.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving any stone unturned. I know I'm in the lead, but I do not want to be complacent. That's one thing that I had never envisaged to do. I'm sure that we will be winning, but it's going to be huge, with a huge difference of margin. But still, we do not want to relax. My team and I had been on issues day by day and knowing the direction that we're going. So we definitely will make it.
We'll get into your plan or what you intend to do if you are elected eventually to become president of the Ghana Boxing Authority. But let's quickly talk about what has kept you going, because you've ventured into politics and sport, and you've ventured into party politics as well on the national scale, and you have tasted defeat. When it comes to party politics, you put yourself up to contest for the NDC's Greater Accra chairmanship. You lost out to, you lost out to the current chairman,
Adekoka.
Mr. Adekoka, and you contested for the GBA presidency as well some time back. You lost out. What was it that just kept inspiring you to go on, especially on the front of Ghana Boxing?
Well, I do have a slogan that I always tell people that if you do really love something and you sit back and see that things are not going well with that particular love that you have, you do not wait till it's being destroyed. So you definitely, if you can, get in and make sure it's being corrected, whatever problem there is in there that is taking the joy away. So that is why you've seen me in boxing. I've stayed back for some time, but I have been involved. Even though if I am not involved and I sit back, I'm still involved, in the shadows. So that kept me actually going.
Now, tell me about working with lawyer Peter Zwenes as his vice president. This was somebody you contested against, and then you sat back a bit for some time, and then you brought yourself back into the picture, and you had to work with him. Tell me about the working relationship with the outgoing president.
It's been very great. Peter and I are very, very good friends for quite a long time. In boxing, and he's been a very good friend. The relationship has been there, so there's no way. Contesting him would divide us. I hadn't imagined that at all. We did continue to, have our conversations behind the scenes. He calls me, I call him. There are things that are not moving all right. I just tell him, look, I think this is not right. What can we do? We brainstorm. So he's been great. Let me tell you honestly, he's been a very good president for the GBA. You yourself indicated what had happened in a period of 1.5 years, sort of fights that came up. And honestly, again, if not the COVID issues,
yeah.
Trust me, I think we would have done more. So I think his administration had been extremely well.
Now, let's go into what you want to do in building up on this foundation, because clearly you are a part of this this administration led by lawyer Peter Zwenes. So obviously you're going to pick up from somewhere, and you're going to obviously add a few other things. What are the key points? So Ghana, the rest of the world, everybody with Ghanaian boxing interest at heart, so they'd come along with you and reason with you and be on the same page with you.
There are a couple of few things that needs to be added up to what Zwenes had done. He's done his best. He's leaving it over. Whoever takes the realms should stand on his benefits and get to the ultimate benefit that we are looking ahead to achieve. The fact and the matter, it's I have broader plans. The one of them, it's the is the having to emphasize on the regions, because it looks as if it's an area where we've ignored for some time. But everything comes, especially in boxing, comes with money, funding, and I think that is what had uh, drawn us back a little. If the funding is there, we would have been able to do a lot in the regions also. I mean, touring the region, I realized the fact that as long as we do have some certain stream of funding, we would be able to produce good boxers in the regions, uh, good weights, mostly the heavier weights. So that's one of my plans. The secretariat, getting the secretariat, done. I mean, we need a complete office like the GFA does have. We don't need. We've been in the small office for quite a long time. GPA is highly recognized institution, and for me, I feel that there's more that can be done. Having the secretariat. Why do we need a secretariat? I'm looking to tourism, sports tourism. Sports tourism brings in a lot. You realize the fact that those bodies outside every year does have conventions or each and every year, but they pick the areas to be doing these programs. They had never chosen Africa, but I think this time around I had pursued them for quite a long time, all of them, all the bodies, and
I mean, WBC,
All of them.
IBF,
All of
WBO, WBA.
all of them. I could have good relationship with all of them, and this time around I've been assured that should everything goes well, they would definitely next year have at least the first convention here by one of the world bodies here in
Great,
Ghana.
great. Now, for this office, obviously would have to commend the board and the management of the Trust Sports Emporium, the Bukum Boxing Arena, for extending that hand of goodwill to the Ghana Boxing Authority and giving that space to be used as an office or as a secretariat. If everything goes well and you're duly elected as president, how much time do you want to give yourself to put this up set up this office that you're talking about?
Well, the office that I'm looking at a period of 2 years that definitely I mean, it does have to come. That building or the office had to come from the government. So I've already started soliciting for it.
I see.
Yes, seriously soliciting for it.
Okay, now I'm focusing on a few other ifs and buts. Okay, so I'm trying to put my mind or myself in the minds or in the shoes of others who have boxing at heart, to say that will be capital intensive. I mean, if government even gives a property of a certain value, definitely money would go into it. There are many areas that need to be developed. For instance, equipping of our gyms, and you have spoken about the difficulties that the regions are having in terms of organizing themselves. So why would we want to throw the focus on putting up a structure that will house us when we can manage with a smaller space, and probably throw the focus into other areas and developing and helping with logistics and otherwise, so we can empower the gyms and all of those who are putting their money in, like you do.
Structures. When it comes to the structures, I don't think we are going to be putting up structures. What I believe, or what I had known, is that the government itself does have certain properties sitting alone, and I had taken notices of some of them. We would definitely demand. We will look at those that might suit us and then go and demand for it.
Make a case or demand, which is which?
Well, we'll go and demand for it.
Okay.
We'll demand. I mean, government had to consider when we come in to demand. If you've really taken care of GFA, why shouldn't you take care of the GBE?
Okay.
So I think we'll go into demand. But whatever expenses that need to be done, that will be a secondary matter. That wouldn't be a problem at all for me personally, and then also the organization itself. Due to the further plans that I have in bringing in funding, I wanted us to establish the GBA TV, which will bring in resources, some monies, based on advertisements. We will be hiring people. If you are interested to, we can hire you as a marketer, as a marketer to market GBA and its products for us. You bring in some revenue, you make some certain percentage. So with this source, we can do a lot with the funding that might come in.
All right. So you've mentioned setting up a secretariat. You've mentioned having a media product that will be a big source of revenue, and you also want to focus on the regions. Now, when it comes to the regions, which areas specifically would you want to look at? Because the inadequacies when you step out of Accra for all of these regions are massive and are many. So which specific areas do you want to focus on? Because I'll give you an example. When you go to the Volta region, for instance, the Ghana Boxing Authority has just about 3 gyms that are registered with the organization. I found out from the Secretary General when I was putting up a feature the other day. And so you're looking at the land size, okay, or the geographical size of the Volta region, and how, when you look at the list of world boxing champions, we have at least Joseph Agbeko and Isaac Dube to show for it. And we don't have certified trainers who are in these regions. And so if a boxer is talented, he would have to travel very long distances by vehicle, and stuff, so they could get the basics. And that becomes a very big problem. So which specific areas would you want to focus on?
Well, we'll be picking the areas one by one.
Okay.
We have to take an overall look and assess each and every area or each region, where to start first, second, third. And I can assure you that there are prospects all over the regions, not one specific region. I mean, from Volta, the North Ashanti region, Bono area, which is the Brong-Ahafo area, and also the central region and the western region. Prospects everywhere, but it will depend on the administration's activity right there. GBA's activities in the regions that we might start, establishing ourselves in. And with that, I think once people will choose a region, working on it, things starts to go well. They will then realize the fact that we are ready to work.
Okay,
with all
so
the regions.
what would it be? Would it be to work on capacity building for our trainers? Would it be to focus on equipping our gyms? Which specific areas are we looking at?
I think the capacity is extremely important, and then the equipment also, it's also worth having them. So those 2 areas will be looked at seriously: capacity building and then the equipment. You can't train a boxer without, you can build the capacity, but without the equipment wouldn't be fruitful. So
It's
definitely.
1:30 here on Joy 99.7 FM, and this is the Joy Sports Link, and this is also on my Joy Online TV and also on this channel. Well, we're having a conversation with Mr. Henry Ekomanli Spain, who is one of 2 aspirants for the presidency of the Ghana Boxing Authority. The big congress comes up on Thursday here in Accra, and the whole boxing family will come together to elect a new leadership, as lawyer Peter Zwenis will be stepping down after his second term wraps up by the time Congress comes up. Now, what is it that the licensees of the Boxing Authority have been telling you when you go on these trips? I mean, you've been doing a lot of campaigning around. What are the common things or the common problems that they articulate?
First of all, equipment. And then secondly, the support, financial support.
Okay.
And I don't see that as a major problem, because as I indicated, some equipment can be provided personally by me, because I have a good reach with certain companies that can provide us, assist us. Not all, even if it's not all the regions, some of the regions, at least 2, 3, 4 of them, we should be able to obtain some equipment, which is not going to cost us anything.
Now, I'm a little worried about this trend, and I'll tell you which trend I'm talking about. The trend where there is no proper structure or there is no proper legislation that goes to help people bring in equipment for sport and sport development. I refer to years ago when the late Gideon Quartey, the then Greater Accra Amateur Boxing chairman, had received a donation of a ring from the Haringey Boxing Club of the UK. It took him months. He had to sweat. He had to go back and forth, and nobody was able to figure out a tax rebate for him or a tax holiday for him so he could clear it. And there was the evidence. I mean, he had organized this sport, from his own resources, just like you have done over the years, with his own pocket money, and government was just not willing. What kind of strategy do you want to use? I mean, because obviously you have the muscle, but it gets to a point when people who have the muscle also get fatigued. So how are we going to work on this, and how are we going to influence legislation so that these equipments and all of that, and this could cover sports in general? Do you have any plans in that regard?
I think the first thing is to approach the ministry and then have a talk over these issues, and then we see how best they will assist. In other terms, if you're getting a gift from someone from outside and you wanted to have them cleared without or minimum charge, I think there are processes that you have to go through. So with me, I think we will definitely start that earlier. Notify the right institutions that this is what we are expecting, and therefore you have to assist. Look, for me, I believe that as long as certain issue goes to the president, whoever the president is, I don't think there's any president in Ghana which would like to see a sport go down. We can approach this president. We find a way to approach him through the minister and just lay bare issues to the president. And trust me, I don't think if we have equipment coming in, we will not have the same. But it depends on who approaches who, and if the right channels are, the process are taken through those right channels.
Mr. Manley Spain, you are an experienced entrepreneur. In fact, your business is within the port and clearing system, so you're very well versed in all of these processes and procedures. And so there are two likely outcomes, which is the positive and the negative. Positive, that you made the attempt and government says, okay, from now all of these equipment under this category come in, and we will scrap it so that the young ones can benefit from these equipment. And then they would say, look, we're not very sure, people will take advantage of it, which is the kind of responses that people always get. We're not very sure, so go take care of it. Go take care of it and pay the duties. Psychologically, I'm sure you must be ready for those kinds of outcomes already?
I had experienced that before. I mean, I had equipment, brand new equipment that was given to the health department here. I solicited for it in the U.S. and brand new equipment, kidney dialysis machines for them, and one of the bigger hospitals in New York, St. Francis, I believe, in Queens. Brand new equipment in boxes, and the main director there was Fanuel Markin, Ghanaian, highly respected there. He called on me, and then I took over the goods. The goods sat in my truck whilst we were going through the processes and having these equipment cleared here. Unfortunately, it looks as if nobody wanted to help. So all that I did was I took the kidney dialysis machines, the two of them, brought them in, and the rest given to charity in the Caribbean.
I see. You had to let them go.
Of course, yes, because the duty was so excessive. The duty assessed was so excessive. So I had to let them go. And people are willing to take these things. Health equipment, you see? And you couldn't have any minister assist you to have them received by them, by the ministry itself. Not that you are bringing them in to sell or expose or, dispose of them. But the issue was coming, the stuffs were coming to the ministry itself.
I see.
And it became very difficult.
So in this case, it's boxing, and it's
Look,
sitting on your lap.
I will definitely handle it. I found the sources to do it. That is why we are going to be starting with these programs such as the TV station, which will bring us revenue. Trust me, it's going to bring us huge revenue. People will be shocked.
Okay.
Because of the plans that I have for it.
Let's go into performance generally on the international front. We have, foreign-based Ghanaian boxers who are doing their bits. We have those who have grown up from here, have started their careers from here, and are doing great on the international scene. As the situation stands, Ghana does not have a world champion. First of all, when you lay on your pillow, when you put your head on your pillow, and you think about Ghana boxing, how does this make you feel? And if once again you are given the go-ahead to become, by the boxing family, what will be the plan in making sure that we get another world champion and we sustain, that status and ensure that we get a few more?
It begins with the boxers that are here now.
Okay.
Those who are willing to achieve something. And then the responsibility shoulders on the GBA, who leads the GBA, the interests of the person who leads the GBA, to emphasize on these boxers who realize the fact that they're doing well, needs assistance. If we can solicit for certain assistance from government or any other, the whole thing is preparation. So if you're able to be doing these things, trust me, the boxers are doing well. The fact of the matter, it's been difficult. In boxers' life, there's difficulties, especially here in Ghana, and then the COVID actually made it extremely worse. But I think with someone like me, I would not be able to be sitting back to see the boxer or people or most boxers that are trying to make it go through certain difficulties that are not, being interested with me.
Okay. Let's do some messages. This one says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Nat. Please, we Ghanaians should stop judging or saying things we don't know. Can't he live a life without looking over his shoulders. I guess that's what you wanted to say. I like the way he answers your questions. Very short. Good job to you guys, especially on the Euro 2020, and God bless you. Efomali from La Paz, and he hashtags Joy Sports. Thank you very much, Efomali. We are very grateful for the encouragement, and the thumbs up as well. 055 055 Keep your messages coming in. We are having a conversation with Ghana Boxing Authority's presidential aspirant, one of the two, Mr. Henry Ekomali Spain. He's an outgoing first vice president of the same body. And the Congress comes up sometime next week, specifically on Thursday. Now, the other not so pretty images. We've had issues where boxers and their managers have had major problems. They've fought in the media space. Obviously, from my point of view as a journalist who's looking for juicy content, that will definitely sit well with me. But at the end of the day, it doesn't help the general interest of the sport. Boxers are misbehaving. Some of them are misbehaving. Some of them are not complying with what is written in their contracts. Some managers are also cutting corners. And these are realistic issues that are confronting our sport. What will be the plan going forward as well? And of course, in saying this, I must also admit and commend that the administration so far, of which you've been first vice president, has done a bit of a good job when it comes to disciplinary cases. We've seen some major suspensions. We've seen licenses being withheld temporarily and all.
It's actually been a problem, but you can take it from me that it's not going to be an easy sort of behavior
To manage.
No, it's an easy thing to manage because but it's not going to be easier for these guys to misbehave, especially in terms of fights or any other thing. You could actually judge me by when I was promoting fights. You realize the fact that I did not take chances at all. I had the military police and dogs around, and it's actually took control of most of these nonsenses. And you realize again that it's made so interesting of the boxing itself. People really loved. They became loving the sport the more. So you saw numbers growing with big shots. People who are who had not wanted to be watching fights on the ring at the ringside and all those things, they all started to come up. So it's something that most of these boxers do know that for me, I do not have problem controlling it.
What about standardizing all of these measures? Because you talk to some of the promoters and they'll tell you that they have difficulties when it comes to finances and putting together these big fight nights. I mean, the cost of hiring the Bukum Boxing Arena alone, their lights, their sound, putting all of the functionaries on the night and officiating officials together, and all of that is a lot of cost. And so it sometimes also affects security and the kind of or the level of security that is put up at these fight nights.
Well, if you're renting a place to host a show, and knowing the radicalism of supporters, you cannot leave security out. You should plan in your plans in promoting the fights. You should therefore make sure that you leave a space for bringing in the security to protect the citizenry, those who are not radical people who wanted to come and enjoy themselves. You wanted to make it interesting the sport of boxing, and therefore if someone is misbehaving, you just have him arrested and that is it.
Let's talk about our former world champions. Is there any plan to make use of their expertise Um, is there any plan to seek their knowledge in towing the forward line?
Yes, I've thought of this. I had not spoken to any of them yet, but it's a plan that I had always figured that it needs to be done. I had, in fact, during my promotions, if I have a boxer fighting, I do not rely on my boxer's coach alone. I do have other coaches. Carl is there, Mr. Ricketts, who had been there with me all the time, knows that we sit back and they support the other coaches or the coach whose boxer is in the ring, and they advise too. So it was a strategy that honestly it gave us much more hope in the boxers, and therefore they were able to deliver as much as they could.
Well, if you just joined us, this is the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM, my Joy Online TV, and on this channel as well. And we're having a conversation with Mr. Henry Ecomanley Spain, who is one of two aspirants for the presidency of the Ghana Boxing Authority. On Thursday, we will have a congress, and after that, there'll be a new leadership structure for the Ghana Boxing Authority. Lawyer Peter Zwenis has been in charge of the Ghana Boxing Authority for the last 8 years and has decided to call it a stint with that position. Now, let's also look at your timelines, timelines within which, I mean, you've spoken about you've spoken about putting up the secretariat within 2 years. Now, when it comes to giving equipment support to the gyms, how much would you want to cover in terms of volume and geographical area, and within what period of time?
As I indicated earlier, as we will be touring, my team and I, should I pick up the reins, my team and I will be touring the region. We will make it a must to determine the fact of the number of equipment, or what kind of equipment would a gym or the other gyms might need, and then we place them, if we can, to those gyms for them to be developing. I cannot sit here and say that this is how many we'll be able to be providing, but as we talk, we will know each and every gyms and their problems. Some of them does have some equipment, some of them needs an additional equipment. So we need to do this familiarization tours to make sure that we familiarize ourselves with what the needs are for those gyms. So that is what we will be doing.
Well, let's talk about your opponent in this election. You've worked with him on the board. He's the second vice president. Have you had any conversations since this whole process started? The process of you going to licensees to seek or to sell yourselves to them. Have you had any conversation with him?
Not in detail. No. Each and every one of us is doing their own thing. Consulting these stakeholders, making sure you lure them to your this thing. But one thing stands out extremely well. People knows what I had done previously. The record shows for itself among the two of us. I've done promotions. I've done a lot, and each and everyone knows that I never owed any boxer or any coach. Whatever whatever contract I signed to pay was paid. So the money trickled down from the boxer through the additional promoter who was with me, and then to the coaches.
What do you make of him as an individual and as a person within the boxing space?
The whole thing stands on vision, experience, the will to do the job. I've already demonstrated some of it, but you hadn't seen it all. The rest will be coming. But most of all, the relationship outside, the outside relationship with the other bodies, WBO, WBC, the relationship, how you'll be able to push your boxes into the ratings. So that link is so important. I was able to place Joshua Clottey to be the number 5. Joshua had a record, but wasn't placed by the world. They tried. I wasn't managing him, but I was supporting him. I liked him. And I said, no, you cannot have this record as a boxer and then not rated by any of the bodies. So the first body I contacted was the WBO. And when they saw his record, he was rated number 5. And then to Lindsay at IBF. And he placed Joshua at number 4 in the world ratings. So you need someone who knows the deal, who knows how to move, how to reach the people to say, look, my boxer is due. My boxer is someone that needs to be placed, needs to be placed as
Very well. That's very well said. And this is a typical politician. A typical politician who wants to sell himself to you. So the question actually was what you make of your opponent. I mean, your general thoughts or your general, perceptions about your opponent. I mean, you've worked with him.
Experience counts, and my experience supersedes totally his. And people knows what I've done, and they can justify the fact that Mr. Manley Spain did that, and therefore, doing all of these things, he never owed anyone, and therefore this, that, both from referees down and all that. So that is a clear justification of me coming on board and doing what is right.
Your messages are very welcome. Just about 7 minutes to wrap it all up here. So it's remember 055 1111 997 055 1111 997. Very shortly, I'll be going to just going around and wrapping up on how everything is going and the kind of feedback we're also getting from all the constituent bodies ahead of the Congress. But I always sit back and look at the whole front of Ghana boxing, and I'm thinking to myself, have we managed very well the relationship between the amateur ranks and the professional ranks, and have we maximized that relationship well? It could be a yes, it could be a no, but where would you place yourself in maximizing the relationship between the amateur and professional ranks so we could achieve success when it comes to having many more world beaters and many more world champions?
Well, with me, I had been at the background with the amateur, you call them, for quite a while. I've been there, but many people never knew that I had spent time with some of them, and it's something that it's really dear to me. I think we need to make sure that we hold onto the amateur and assist in any way that we can in terms of them having the hope that with the backing of the professional body itself, they can achieve or get somewhere. So they know that I've been there for them, and I continue to be there for them, and I am going to continue being there for them.
Great stuff there. Let me just pick a few thoughts around the table before we wrap it up and call it a show. But you can send in your messages 055 1111 997 here on the Joy Sports link on Joy 99.7 FM, this channel, and also My Joy Online TV. Okay. We'll do some messages as well, those that are coming in. And my good friend and brother, Fred Smith, is already in studio, ready with the Joy Headline News at 2. He looks like he would have done very well as a middleweight boxer. But Lawrence Carloco, as I mentioned, is going to feature in a short feature that we're bringing you sometime this week, and it has to do with an amazing female boxing talent. We'll be doing that later on. But Nikal, you worked with Mr. Manley Spain. I remember when we all grew this relationship years ago. I mean, you worked with him, you trained a lot of his boxers and all of that. As we go towards this Congress, what are your thoughts and what will be your message to the general boxing family?
Thank you very much, Nat. Like we are all seeing how boxing have been going for some time now, for years now. And I would say that since I joined boxing and now, there is a big difference. What brings the difference? The difference is those who have good heart for boxing, that they are showing great attitude, showing their commitment to boxing. I may say, for now, we want to have a new president, and the two of them who are going, the track record is there. I mean, so we need to get someone who can lead us right. We need to get someone who can help us to clean our face, because some of us, we have been crying all the time. And if we don't have someone who can stand there firmly to, assist us in certain things, then we'll be staying at one place. So if I may say anything, I'm saying that we all should look at the best person that can lead us to do it. It is not about Mr. Spain, it's not about Mr. Nikwe, it's about the best person who can make boxing very, very excited and very creative for people to venture into it. So I'll just say that we should all look at the right person who can make the work easier for us. As we have been saying in our Ghana language, that if you have your own cow, if you have a cow, you can't go and tie that cow with the pawpaw tree. So we should have to be sure of what we are doing so that we will not cry tomorrow.
No, but me, I'm a Ga and I'm very traditional in my ways. Please say that in Ga. I want to hear that in Ga. We've been speaking English here for 2 hours. You are speaking English. I want to hear that in Ga, please. Who are they coming?
Thank you very much. At least sometimes it's good that way.
And remember, this
you people,
studio is sitting on Ga land.
It is good that way again.
Yes.
But you people normally push us to see our last English that we have. Maybe we don't really just
But
try.
I insist that one you have to say in Ga.
Numa job, nika venye wa orga yo monya ne nya fiu. No yo mi peji. Onye nko onye china, no ka china afia papacho.
Okay.
Esa no ka china o ka ficho ni wa ni china pulenche nye chi. Be o ta china gonglo kwa fitai. Na kan chuo no wa nye hile na kan china ko.
Very good. So the import of all of it, as you said, is that when you want to strap a cow, you have to strap it against something that is firm and not something that is weak. Thank you very much. When we come here in the studio and we want to pick things from our folklore, we'd have to refer right.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll take your final thoughts, Mr. Patrick Johnson.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nat. And I think coming Thursday, if you're talking about security-wise, if you're able to speak with the police and they are coming, their numbers to protect us on the day, and the Electoral Commission is also coming on board. On Monday, I'm going to meet with them. Then we finalize everything. Ballot papers have been printed, and everything is in order. So coming Thursday, rest assured, everything is going to move on successfully. And the person who is going to take the title, it's only God who knows for now.
Thank you very much. Final words in the next 40 seconds, Mr. Manley Spain.
I just want to tell all the stakeholders that they've known what I've done past. They believe in me. They should continue believing in me. My position on the ballot paper is the number one, and they should look for me at the top of it and thumbprint for Dr. Henry Manley Spain.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, and would like to say greetings to Nana Yajiman, who's doing the listening. Also to Mr. Charles Mensah, a former general manager of Joy FM and a former director of finance at the Ghana Lottery Authority, and also the CEO of Trust Consult, always doing the listening and always supporting us years on after moving on to do other things. And a final thing before we go.
Yeah, thank you very much. I thank Transport Emporium for giving us their conference hall for the upcoming election freely.
Wow.
And we thank them so much. And I will say again that we thank them for their support. I mean, for giving us office to run GBA. We really appreciate it, and we say God bless them.
Thank you very much. And I've seen all of that, and I can attest to that as well. So Mr. Dapa and the CEO of the Transport Emporium and the rest of the team there, the directors especially, Mr. Robert Adumi Eboa, whom we refer to as Uncle Bobby. Thank you so much. God bless you. So it's time to hand over to the news team. The man at the center of all of it is Fred Smith, and he normally heads our health operation as well here. And after that, the tallest man in town, Mr. George Niamakwe, will bring you Showbiz A to Z. This has been a boxing conversation. I trust you've enjoyed it. Next week, God willing, we'll bring you another Joy Sports Link. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for...
Well, the headlines are two. Veterinary officials in Ghana are on high alert across all 16 regions as they seek to contain the outbreak of the highly pathogenic avian influenza disease, otherwise known as bird flu. In a statement, the Agric Ministry announced several measures, including a total ban on the importation of poultry and poultry products. Director of Veterinary Services at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Patrick Abake, says anyone seeking to transport birds from concerns about the safety of poultry products already on the market.
Poultry and its products, if you get them, you have to make sure that you cook it well, at least 70 degrees and above, so that it will be safe for human consumption.
I heard the Director of Veterinary Services at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Patrick Abake. The international media watchdog Reporters Without Borders is calling for the immediate prosecution of MP for Assin Central, Kennedy Ejapong, over his threats to Erastus Asare Donko. The MP, in a widely publicized video, Mr. Ejapong, who is also the chairperson of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee, called for the beating of Erastus Asare Donko over his coverage of the Ejura killings and his appearance at the